So in today's video, we're going to take you guys on an overnight camping trip to Noosa. We'll be taking our MG ZS EV. Now that'll be fully loaded, and we'll also have a roof pod on the top to take all our gear. We'll briefly show you guys how to plan the trip. We'll show you some charging stops. We'll show you around the Boreen Point camping ground where we're staying. We'll show you some consumption stats and compare those to being fully loaded and just a normal driving experience. And we'll compare the electricity and the petrol costs and just what the total trip cost us. So let's get into it. Welcome to Electric Car Australia and a beautiful Saturday morning here in Brisbane. We're heading off on a long-awaited trip to Noosa. The young fella had his birthday a number of weeks ago and we promised him a quick camping trip with some friends. So we're about to load up. We'll have 2 adults, 3 kids and enough camping gear for an overnight stay. So that's a tent, sleeping bags, pillows. We haven't loaded up as yet, but as you can see, we've got the pod on the roof, so that will affect our range. So we'll show you guys some of the stats. We're just finalising our charge. So we've just got this on an extension lead in the driveway as I was putting on the pod this morning. So this is doing what we call a balancing charge. So the battery is fully charged. It's just putting in the last few amps. And you should do that every 2 or 3 months, and that does a balancing charge. And on the MGs, the little pulsating MG light will come on static. So that shows that it's balancing. And when that light fully goes out, it means it's balanced and fully charged. So we'll undo that one shortly and we'll be heading off. But let's have a quick look inside. And we'll see the dash here. There we go. It's showing as charging completed. And it's saying we've got 100% charge in the battery and 256 kilometres. Now just have a quick mention on those kilometres. So the ZS has a set algorithm, I guess, that shows you the kilometres when it's full. And there's been a bit of chatter in some forums around the car's plugged in, it shows 256 kilometres. As soon as I unplug the car and turn it on and ready to go, the kilometres will drop 30 or 40 the range will drop 30 or 40 kilometres. Just be aware if you've got your air conditioning or your HVAC on, extra headlights, something like that, or a fridge in the back, that will immediately reduce your range. So 256 is ideal, but the moment you actually turn stuff on, of course, that range will go down because you're using extra energy. So today we're heading from Brisbane to Noosa. As I mentioned, we're heading up to Boreen Point. There's a caravan park there that we often do some camping in. It's a great spot for the kids. As everyone will know, we've had some floods in the east coast, so they've cleaned it up a little bit, or enough to open. So we're heading up there and we'll put a screenshot in. It's about 175 kilometres from here, and we'll be stopping for a charge on the way. We shouldn't really need the charge, but given the extra weight and stuff we've got and 3 kids, everyone's going to want to stretch their legs anyway. So we'll stop at Forest Glen and we'll plug in there for a little while. We'll grab a coffee, we'll stretch our legs. Come along for the ride. Well, here we are at Forest Glen. So this is a really popular little spot just off the Bruce Highway. This is the Queensland Electric Super Highway charger. So we didn't need to actually charge, but we thought, well, why not? We've got to stop for a toilet break and grab a coffee. So we've plugged in and we've been charging for 17 minutes. And because the battery's quite full and it's warm, we're up to 80% charge. Yeah, now this is a really busy little spot. Lots of coffee shops around here, restaurants and stuff. So it's the absolutely perfect spot to stop for a break. And you guys will notice we put some screenshots in there on the way up. So that's from the EV Watchdog app. And we'll include a link to a video up above that we've done testing that app out. So that's the an EV monitoring app that works really great with the MG ZS EV. So check that video out. That'll tell you all about how that one works. But just some interesting stats. Looks at battery temperature, state of charge, state of health of the battery, your current consumption. So you guys will notice there that we're about 16.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres. Now I'm pretty impressed with that. As our regular viewers will know, the MG ZS isn't the most aerodynamic vehicle, but it does do quite well in the efficiency stakes. As we mentioned, we've got an absolute full load today. We've had the aircon pumping, we've had the music, Ed Sheeran blasting. So it really is a tough gig today. We've had a little bit of rain as well. Temperature's not too bad, it's about 25. So to get about 16.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres is pretty good. So look, we'll hang around here for a little bit longer. We'll get a bit more charge and then we're going to head off and we'll be up to our destination, which is just outside Noosa, Boreen Point Caravan Park. And we'll be hitting the lake this afternoon with the kids and the kayaks after we put the tent up. Well, it's the next day. We're a bit dusty as usual when you're camping with a few families with kids. It's not usually the best night's sleep. We had a bit of rain through the night as well, but it was a great night here at the Boreen Point campground. So I'll take you guys for a quick walk around and have a look. And I'll probably say this wrong, but it's at Lake Koothrabbara or something like that, near Noosa, so we'll show you guys the lake as well. But here's the campground. It's a nice bush camping setting, lots of space, a couple of different amenity blocks, camp kitchen as well, we'll show you guys shortly. So yeah, there was more people than I had thought that there'd be, given that we've had some recent flooding and the guys have done a really good job to clean it up. There's powered and unpowered sites as well, so depending on what you're looking for. That's the camp kitchen, really good facilities there. You've got electric barbecues and electric kettle, that sort of stuff. Microwave. There's the amenities block. A little bit of flood repair work, some extra sand and gravel in. Bit of the flood damage there on the fence. It's taken out the panels of the fence there. This is the entrance to the campground. It's the caretaker's cottage. Again, a bit of damage underneath that. And this is the lake. Beautiful day on the lake today. It was a little bit windy and choppy yesterday. The kids had the kayaks out. But today, slight little breeze, just to keep the mozzies away. It's looking like a really good day. So we're only here for the night, so We'll hang out on the water today till about lunchtime, have a nice lunch, and then we'll head back to Brisbane. But yeah, Lake Kuthabara, or something like that, up near Noosa. Really, really nice spot. And there is a day spot as well. So this area just here is the day spot. So you can come out here and just stay for the day. But where we were staying was just through the gate in the actual campground. And this is a Noosa council caravan park, this one. So yeah, great for water sports. The kids gave those kayaks a good workout yesterday. So you can hire the kayaks, life jackets and all that sort of stuff. And you'll see down here just the volume of water that we've had in the last couple of weeks. Like most of the east coast, the water there's just coming out of the ground, still out of the sandy soil, and just running back into the lake. Amazing how much water we've had. So I hope you guys enjoyed the quick look around the Boreen Point campground there. Now look, I mentioned I'd talk you guys through 3 apps that we use all the time when we're road tripping in the ZS EV. So look, the first one we'll show you there is a Better Route Planner. Now this is great. It's got a desktop and also an app version, and we'll show you the screenshots there of our charging stop at the Forest Glen charger. So there's got really good definition maps, so you can zoom up and you can see exactly where the charger is, and you'll see this one's a really convenient spot just off the Bruce Highway, and you can get in there. There's coffee shops and little cafes, that sort of stuff right near the charger, and it shows you all the details about the charger. So there's a couple of type 2 chargers there, there's a CCS charger, and shows whether it's in operation or not. So yeah, a really handy app. You can plan your trips, plan your charging stops, shows your total distances and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, you'll see there we planned the trip in a Better Route Planner, 176 kilometres from Brisbane to the campground, and it's telling us it would take about 2 hours and 6 minutes. That's the free version. There is a paid version as well, which gives you live traffic updates, weather and all that sort of stuff. So check out a Better Route Planner. Now the next one we've got is PlugShare. Now this is an old time favourite. It's been around forever, PlugShare. It's a really great site as well, desktop and app version, and you can plan your trips in this as well and save them as favourites. Does a similar sort of thing, so you can see the availability of all the chargers, you can leave comments, you can take some photos, etc. Tells you the type of chargers, so again, type 2, CCS, CHAdeMO. You can select or filter the ones you'd like to see, so you're not looking at chargers that don't suit your card. And again, we're showing the one at Forest Glen there, and you'll see all the other chargers located around that. So we're quite lucky here in southeast Queensland. We've got an abundance of chargers. So even if you've got a EV with a very small battery capacity, you can quite easily do road trips if you're staying on the east coast there. And that screenshot there from Brisbane to Noosa, as you can see, all those chargers. The little blue ones with a house, they're PlugShare members that have decided to share their home chargers as well. So you can even filter those. So in an emergency, you could charge up at somebody's house. The green ones are the type 2 and the brown are the larger fast chargers, CCS and CHAdeMO. And the final one we'll show you there is the ChargeFox app. Now this is the one you'll need to use at the Forest Glen charger, and going home we'll also stop at the Karoi railway station and top up there, and might do some shots to show you guys. So it's currently 20 cents a kilowatt, which is cheap as chips compared to petrol or diesel. You'll notice there that it is going up to 30 cents. And look, as an EV user, I'm quite happy with that. I don't mind paying for some charging. Again, still well below petrol and diesel prices as they skyrocket at the moment. And for the convenience of being able to pull into a reliable charger that's working and top up on the way, 30 cents is fine for me. Again, the ChargeFox app shows you whether the charger's available or not, whether it's out for maintenance. And I'll also show you guys the invoice. And there you go, just showing you guys the charge summary or the invoice view from the app. So we charged at Forest Glen for 28 minutes. We took 14.53 kilowatt hours and it cost us $2.90. Put 14.5 in because it was just a top up, but at $2.91, again, that's as cheap as chips to duck in off the highway, plug in for a charge while we're grabbing a coffee and a snack and back on the road. So I hope that helped you guys a little bit as well and just showed you the 3 apps that we most often use here in Southeast Queensland, the ChargeFox app, the PlugShare app, and also a Better Route Planner. So we're going to finish off the day here with the kids on the water, and we might show you guys a couple of shots of the trip back home, maybe charging again at the Karoi railway station, which is a superhighway charger, and we'll do a wrap-up video at the end when we get back home for the round trip, and we'll show you guys the entire consumption and also the entire cost of the trip. Well, it's Sunday afternoon. We've packed up the tent and we've hit the road heading back to Brisbane. And we thought this time we'd stop at the Karoi electric superhighway charger. So this one's at the railway station, which is a really convenient spot to pull up. There's heaps of car parking here. No traffic for the kids, so it's all within a sort of fenced compound, which is really great. We've just had the North Coast Line train stop and drop a couple of people off. So the North Coast Queensland Rail train does stop here at this location. And again, there's a good array of shops here, so it's the absolute perfect place to stop. And I'll just show you guys a couple of the stats from the EV Watchdog app while we're charging. But we've got the battery temperature is about 33 degrees, so obviously it's warmed up when the car's charging. You'll see the cell voltages there also. So the next one there, the main screen will show you there the 25.1 kilowatt hours. So that's the amount of energy that the battery's currently got in it, and it's showing 56.5%. So that's the state of charge of the battery. So we're obviously a bit over half full, you might say. And there's a few other bits and pieces there. As we said, if you'd like to know what they are, please click the previous link that we showed, and we've done a full video on the EV Watchdog app. And just flicking across to the next screen, that one will show you that the range is 94 kilometres, and that'll actually kick up once we turn the car back on. So that was the range when we pulled in. But down towards the bottom, you'll see that blue line that's showing negative 43 kilowatt hours. That means we're putting in 43 kilowatt hours of energy into the battery from this fast charger. So regular MG ZS EV owners or regular viewers of our channel will know the ZS EV has a maximum capacity of 75 kilowatt hours at a DC fast charger. These particular chargers are 50, so yeah, we'll always get slightly less than the 50. Well, that's it. We'll check back in when we get home, and like I said, I'll do a total consumption for the entire round trip. So a great trip. We're back in Brisbane, and I just wanted to wrap up and provide you guys the total stats. So the round trip in kilometres was 358 kilometres in total. We used a total of 70.9 kilowatt hours of energy for the entire trip. So if we work that out at 20 cents a kilowatt, so that's the price we pay at home for our grid power, and also the price we paid at the fast chargers you guys seen. That means the total trip cost us $14.20. Now let's do a quick comparison against if we were in a petrol MGZS. So 7 litres per 100 kilometres is the average consumption of the petrol model. That means we would have used about 25 litres of petrol, and at $2 a litre, which you guys seen in the screenshot there at Karoi, that would have cost us around $50 for the trip. So that means the electricity price is around 70% cheaper than petrol. So a nice little bonus for the wallet there. And remember, this trip was fully loaded. So yeah, the car was fully packed, and we did have a little bit of weather as well. So driving conditions weren't ideal. We had the pod on the top, which certainly impacts the aerodynamics of the car. So you'll notice the trip up, we used about on average 17.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres consumption, and coming home from Boreen Point to Brisbane was about 18.2. Now different things can affect that. I think that one was primarily the headwind, so we had a little bit of wind coming back, so that adds about a kilowatt hour per 100 kilometres to that. Now also we'll talk about if we weren't fully loaded. So the best consumption we've ever had in the MG is 12.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres on the highway. So I'll include a link up above to that eco range test, but look, that's a bit unrealistic. So the average that we normally get with a combination of highway driving and around town is about 15 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres. So that means we use about an extra 3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres being fully loaded. So that costs about 60 cents extra for every 100 kilometres you drive when you're fully loaded, instead of just the average with a couple of kids in it and bits and pieces, a bike here and there or a stroller, instead of being fully loaded with camping gear. So that, I hope, gives you guys a bit of an idea of the different consumptions for EVs when you're fully loaded, and also when you're just using them as an average everyday vehicle, and also shines a bit of a light on the difference in the fuel prices. So obviously at the moment fossil fuels, the prices have gone up extensively, but I like to remind all of our viewers the main reason we bought the EV was for environmental and health reasons. So while the cheaper fuel cost is a bonus, I like to be able to be driving around and knowing that I'm not spewing out toxic exhaust fumes out the back. And normally we charge at home with our solar, so that's fully renewable energy, and we don't have to pay the 20 cents a kilowatt either. So again, depending on your individual circumstances will depend on the cost of your electricity and also how clean that electricity is. So to wrap up, guys, I hope that video's been really helpful. I do appreciate you guys watching, and if you haven't, please click that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And also share the videos with your friends that you think might be interested. As we mentioned before, only about 18% of our viewers are subscribers. We get thousands of views to every video, but only a small number do subscribe. And of course, our donations, we really appreciate anyone who's got a couple of bob that they could flick us via the PayPal donation link below. Just to let you guys know, we've been frustrated the last few videos. We've had some technical issues with cameras and microphone gear, so we've actually placed an order for about $2,500 worth of new gear. So if you're ever wondering where those PayPal donations go, that's where it is. And please don't tell my wife. I'll be absolutely shot if she knows that I've spent that sort of money on YouTube gear. And we've got one more video to come that we had significant problems with technical stuff, and that's our Polestar video. So it's taking us a lot longer to edit that one than it should have. So stay tuned. We do have that one coming up in the near future. So take care, everyone. Look after your friends and family, and we'll talk soon. Bye.